Today I fucked up by telling my boyfriend I want a lap dance. My boyfriend and I were talking and he told me about how he went to a strip club for one of his coworkers' bachelor party before I met him. He told me that he got a lap dance but didn't enjoy it, face with raised eyebrow. Anyway, I jokingly told him that I want to go to a male strip club, like Thunder Down Under or something, so I could get a lap dance too. If he got to enjoy one, I want to enjoy one too. He got all huffy and puffy and started to look up male stripper moves so he could give me a lap dance cause he didn't want Magic Mike dancing on me. Well, you know the move where the guys like land on their hands and then essentially hump the floor? To the Grind on Me song? He wanted to try that with me laying on the floor so he could give me a lap dance, or I guess a body dance. So he made me lay on the floor and he was standing above me getting ready to grind on me. I wasn't wary or anything because he's a pretty strong guy and I thought he'd be able to hold himself up above me so he could go to town. I was wrong. He essentially just slammed down right on top of me, knocking the air from my lungs and almost squashing me to death. He weighs like 280 and I almost became a flat Stanley. I started panicking cause I couldn't breathe and he just asked, "Was that a bad lap dance?" Don't get a lap dance from my boyfriend. Too long did not read. Boyfriend gave me a lap dance and almost killed me. Edit. This conversation was all in good fun and we joke with each other all the time. My boyfriend knows I wouldn't actually go and get a lap dance from a stripper. I wouldn't do that to him. Don't get a lap dance from my boyfriend. I'm willing to give him a try, but then I'm a 280 pounds male too. Upvote for Flat Stanley reference. It's not relationship advice, but Op wants a male lap dance from a male stripper while in a relationship and his lap dance was out of one? Hello? Did you tell him it took your breath away? A lap dance is so much better when the stripper is crying. Today I fucked up by getting way too high at work after not smoking for 5 years. I work as a team lead in a warehouse. A couple of guys called out so I had to substitute for one of them loading trucks. This guy, the first work with, who is a great worker, smokes weed and dab pens. We all know, but we just let him because he's great at what he does. So I'm working next to him and he keeps asking me if I want to take a hit. After the third time, I figured what the hell, so he offers me his dab pen. I haven't smoked in 5 years, but I used to be a major pothead, so I thought it would be like riding a bike. I took a 2-3 second hit, held it in, then let it out and coughed for a couple minutes. 10 minutes after the hit, I start feeling really calm and enjoying myself, then everything turned to complete shit. I had to read paperwork and I couldn't keep anything in my head, so it took me really long to load this truck. I was building pallets of product and my legs were on autopilot. Extreme paranoia was kicking in, so I was panicking hard. I would get tracers every time I turned my head. The rollers above me sounded like laser beams instead of the usual tin roller sound, and to make matters worse, I had 3 hours left in my shift. Long story short, I managed to stick it out. I'm glad my boss didn't come up to me the rest of that night because I couldn't form a coherent thought. I would have been better off taking shrooms at work. Never again. Too long did not read. I took a dab hit from a coworker thinking it wouldn't affect me much and had full-on auditory hallucinations, paranoia, little motor function, and could barely finish my job. But I finished my shift without getting fired or drug tested. Never again. I smoke lightly but regularly. I have a friend who is all blunts all the time. If I make the mistake of sharing a blunt with him, I end up in this "how am I tripping balls from weed" scenario. Your line of "I would have been better off taking shrooms at work" really resonated. I'm used to it being the other way around. People that haven't smoked in forever see the pen and start asking for one. I've learned that I need to be the one holding the button because people will take massive rips without realizing what they've done. I feel you here. I've been a lifelong toker, but I went to visit my kid at work. She tends bar, and we went outside for a smoke. She offered me a hit from her vape, and while she was talking to someone else, I hit it deep, twice. She told me I'd better head for home right away, and she was correct. A half hour later I was torn up from the floor up. Back in the late 90s, my manager, large Wall Street firm, moved in with me due to pending divorce. I was living outside NYC and one day we commuted in together in my truck. He pulls out a joint and we smoke up on the drive-in. Of course, as soon as we arrive my panicked coworker goes, "Thank God you're here. The network is down and no one can work. Hundreds of bankers are waiting on ME to fix things." Eventually we got everything sorted, but never again. Seems really dumb to allow a warehouse worker to be high all the time. I hope you all don't use forklifts. First injury he has, he'll be out on his ass without work comp.